It's showtime. Yes. Let's go. Players, coaches, fans young and old from across the globe, welcome to the Week 15 XV recap show of the Bigs. As always, I'm your host, I'm your commissioner, I am Timmy Westside, and it is always my goddamn stinking honor to be here with you all recapping the greatest league in the world. Well, Week 15 in the books, the sands of time slipping through that hourglass. And oh, baby, we got some homegrown Cajun style cooking for you this week. Yeah, throw out the baby with the bathwater. No more roadmap here. Everything you thought you knew about this league and these teams, see you later. Normally, with class in session, I got 3 topics on my PowerPoint. This class today, I just wrote one thing, one topic today. It's like in high school when it's like sex ed day. You know it's going to be different. You're not learning about osmosis and metabolisms. No, you're learning how to wrap your willies. Well, the one topic that I wrote on my paper, this is a kid show, the race. We're all guilty of it. We all contributed to it. Yes, the 3 bottom teams win. The 3 top teams lose. 2 teams at 9 and 6. 3 teams at 7 and 8. And 1 team 1 game back from 3rd place. It's anyone's game. 6 weeks left. And if any of these matchups had gone the other way, things in the standings would look a little bit different. There'd be a couple outliers. Au contraire, mon frere, anyone's game. Still a lot of golf left to be played. So let's get into it. And let's start with, you're talking about points, power points. Highlight these points. The comeback kid, 272.6 over the Breakfast Club with 264.3 points in a losing effort. How are you, kids? Got a lot of notes on this one. Needless to say, 3 records were broken. Most points ever in a matchup with 536.9 points. Highest points in a losing effort with, as mentioned, 264.3. And highest points ever in a week, 272.6 for Mr. Boutin himself. I'm already exhausted. It starts with his top 3. Yeah, we're going Brady Tkachuk, 25.5 points, led the way, followed up by Zachary Hyman, once again finding himself in Bootsy's top 3. Sneaky big-time contributor for the comeback kids. And Nady MacDog, where he belongs, in the top 3 with 22 points. Speaking of 22 points, all his top 3 were over 22 points. The highest top 3 unit in the league this week. His offense alone had 227.5 points. I haven't scored that many points all season. No spoilers. His goalies went 5-2-2 for 45.1 points. Tkachuk was the highest go-getter in the league this week, as you can see. Both teams had 3 days of over 40 points. Larry had the early lead, but 2 days specifically stuck out for old Steel Toe. 65.2 points on Wednesday and a 70 burger 70.8 to be exact, on Saturday when the games matter most. He's now tied with Shauner and Jake. This kid was dead in the water. Couldn't catch a break all season, but all of a sudden, those chickens have come home to roost. Hens? Roosting hens? He's, for the moment, out of the gutter, looking good. His 2-game winning streak with authority. Let's flip. Let's flip over to the Breakfast Club. You give him the Jordan shrug sometimes, 264.3 points in a losing effort. Insane that sentence actually came out of my mouth. Now on a 2-game losing streak. Didn't think I'd say that sentence about the Breakfast Club this year. As you can tell, the Bruins, led the way with David Pastrnak. 20.4 points was his top dog of the week, followed up by Jay Swayman. Jeremy, I knew it, 19 points, and Jake Gensel, 18.2 points, rounds out Larry's top 3. Goalies went 6-2 and 1 for 56.4 points. 16 out of his 23 players had 10 points or more. Talk about getting scoring from top to bottom. Still wasn't enough. Still didn't matter. Still crazy. His lowest day was 19 points. I don't think I scored 19 points all week. No spoilers. More stroke offs for the loser. He's the first team to eclipse 3,000 points total this year. Stick taps. And out of the 14 stat categories, he leads 7 of them. He's doing fine. Just the ultimate bad beat. Seems impossible that is reality, but Dems to breaks. As I said, highest combined game. He'll be fine. The team's a wagon. Fruitsy coming on hot. Good tilt. Let's move on. 2. Now, with Larry losing in a big spot, Timmy Westside hasn't looked good, but can he take effectively a 2-game lead? Because I got the head-to-head. No. Sound. The Ducks fly together. Finally, the Rubber Puckies. I shouldn't say finally, because now he is on a 2-game winning streak. I'm getting ahead of myself. How many points did he get? 201.3 over Timmy Westside, 190.2. Puckies, the big inflatable goose, they keep pace. Knock, knock. I'm still here. He's 6-9, but 1 game out of 3rd place. Are you kidding me? Keeps pace with the rest of you guys. 3 games back from first, which 3 games back from first. Oh my god, that is nuts. This was a weird one. This was a weird matchup this week. It started out dreadfully slow, like embarrassingly. Like Ken and I were like, "Are we okay?" But we turned it around. In the latter half of the week, Kenny did eclipse that 200-point marker, as you can tell. Big step taps. The water bukkake going to Clayton Keller. This fucking guy, he's got that like Svechnikov syndrome that Evander Kane had it at one point. The hot and cold. He'll go off for fucking 20 points and a hat trick on a Sunday night when he needs it the most. But then he'll go quiet for like a week. The fucking Yotes. I had him a couple years ago. It's still in my brain. I digress. As I said, came down to Sunday. Kenny was 6 points back when he woke up Sunday morning. But nuh-uh, son. You didn't deserve it this week. I did. The Puckies float on. Led by another Tkachuk brother. 21.5 points for Maddie this week. Xander Barkey, 17.6, and Freddie Anderson, 15.8 points on the week. Timeout. We got to talk about Mr. Freddie, this Freddie Prince. We got to talk about him because I put this down in my notes later, but I want to bring it up now because he's earned it. Kenny's goalies, statistically, not trying to be mean, are the worst in the league this year. They're 49 and 41 on the season. Not great. But this week he went 4-2 for a total of 30.6 points. Again, not great. But Freddie, since coming back, Freddie has won every game he started. He's 4-0. Not including a shutout, but he hasn't given up more than 2 goals in a game. And with that offense in the game, with the storm surge, look out. The trade deadline has now come and gone, but Freddie Anderson is one of those late IR additions to a team that is just as good as a trade, and this team needed it the most on the back end. I'm buzzing right now. What else did I write about you, Ken Dog? Yeah, he couldn't do anything for the longest of time. Now he's on a 2-game winning streak. You know what I'm about to say, because he did it last year. Don't let this kid get hot. He's still the champ. He's still on the throne. We can't let that happen. Nipping at the heels of all the other boys. Look out. A lot of golf left. Let's flip to Timmy Westside. I wrote a lot of stuff about the old Timbo. Not a lot about stats, just from the hot. That's my quarterback. Listen. I was ready to fucking come in so hot. You heard me on Wednesday. Bootsy had 100 more points than me. I was in a dark place. The coach was calling out his players. The media was calling out the coach. I was getting the Bruce Boudreau treatment in the Montreal Gazette. When's this guy gonna get out of town? Everyone's pointing fingers. No one's taking accountability. Other GMs calling for my players like I'm a dead duck. Like a carcass out in the Sahara Desert with vultures circling. There's no vultures in Africa, but it doesn't matter. Unable to motivate, unable to play. Left for dead. I heard whispers. The points back it up. Wednesday night. Players only meeting. And you know what? They said, this is all we got. This is all we need. Fuck the trade offers. I know I only had 190.2 points this week. I know it was the lowest point total. I know. But when there's a common enemy in that locker room, those boys are saying, this GM wants to get rid of us. All we got is all we need. They needed that. Fuck you, figurehead. If I got to be that guy, I'll be that guy. Last week was a bad win. Like really bad. Like 160 points. Nice win. This was a good loss. Remember this day. Remember that 72-point Saturday. Remember that. My top 3, Jake Ottinger. I'm not trading him, Shauner. Fuck off. Or was it Boots? I don't know. 22.3 points. Trevor Zegras, 21. Mr. Scheif, you wanted him, Shauner. He's mine. 16 points. Goalies went 4-4 for 39.8 points. That was the kicker. When I've said all along, this is the backbone of my team. This is how I win and this is how I lose. To go 4-4. Shesterkin getting 1 start, 0-1 on the week. Not good enough. Need more. We'll get more. And we will move on to the last matchup of the week. The Burt Macklin Squadron. 211 points over the Borland Backhanders with 197.2 points. Burt Macklin FBI snaps the 2-game losing streak at the opportune moment. Talk about needing a big win in a big spot when everyone else in back of you is winning and you're just losing. Big win, Jacoby. Needed it. This is only his 4th time all season that he's eclipsed the 200-point mark. And good thing he did, because it took every ounce of it. It was a tight, even matchup throughout the week. Other than Wednesday, when Jake put up 50 points and Shauna only put up 35. Still very decent. Other than that 15-point spread, if you look at all those other days, razor thin. Jake inched out Sean for the first 4 games of the week, and Shauna won the last 3. Weekends win matchups, but not this week. Oh, so close. Was not quite enough to complete the comeback. How do you do it? Stammer. Talk about guys, sneaky great seasons for this kid. He's been there, the veteran, leading the Macklin squad. Done it quietly all season long. 22.4 points, led the team again this week. Brandon Montour, who is this guy? 18.8 points. That's who he is. I am. And Darcy Kemper with 17.7 rounds out his top 3 and led the way for Jake's goalies. Just flipping my page. Speaking of Kempy, literally came down to the goalies. I say it all the time. This week, it was actually true. Because, I don't know, to the decimal point, PowerPoint. Shauna and Jake's offenses each had exactly 165.6 points. However, Jacob had the edge in goalies, going 5-2-2 on the week for 45.4 points. Specifically, as you can see, Freddie Anderson led the way, but hot on his heels was Linus Ullmark. He went 2-0 on the week. Freddie went 2-1, but he had the shutout in a big spot. Big win for Jake. To the Cuz, Shauna is now on a 2-game losing streak. As mentioned, everyone hot on his heels. Still has the 3rd position tiebreaker. No, he does not, actually. And I know why, because I wrote it down. He's now on a 2-game losing streak and has only broken the 200-point marker 1 time in the past 6 weeks. Not great. His top guys were once again still there, doing his thing for you. Erik Karlsson with 18 points. Brad Marchie, 17.2. I gave you heat about Audie and Scheif when you were offering Marchand. That's my bad. I'll be the bigger man and admit when I was wrong and right. 17.2 points for Marchand. Evgeny Malkin, almost forgot his name, 16.2 points, rounds out Shauner's top 3. Goalies, as I had mentioned, Jake got 45 points and won by 14. You do the math. What did Shauner get? 31 points from his goalies. They went 4-3-2 on the 4-3-2 on the week. I said that right the first time. Not quite good enough. Asterisked next to Matt Murray. I understand where your goaltending worries came from. Matt Murray has not won a game since January 11th. He'll have almost gone. Is he getting the start tonight? I don't know. Basically 2 weeks without a win. At best, he's going to be splitting starts with Samsonov. At the worst, he's kind of lost the net. Big problem going down the stretch. Half of your team had 10 points or less, and was the only team without a 20-point go-getter. That's all I've got to say about your kid. This was negative on you, Shauna. I feel bad. I'm sorry. Those are what the numbers told me this week. How quickly things have changed. You flash back, boom, 2 weeks ago. This kid was 4-1 in his last 5, nipping at the heels of number 1. We were pumping his tires. I said, look out for this kid. Classic Timbo Jinx, now 0-2. 1 game out of last. And along with Ken, the only player who has not eclipsed, I said eclipsed a lot this show, who has not penetrated the sex show. Full circle. Oops. Who has not hit 2,800 points on the season. Little worrisome. But 6 weeks left. As I mentioned, I'm trying to poke holes in, and this team's going to end up, it's anyone's game still. Speaking of, let's head to the Week 16 recap. I don't need to tell you this, but every game means oh so much. We got Timmy Westside taking on Burt Macklin's squad. I need a big win. Jacoby's on a 2-game winning streak. Big matchup. We got the Borland Backhanders taking on their most heated rival, the Comeback Kid. They're both at 7-8. Don't want to lose this matchup. And then we got Ken Dog taking on. Oh, sorry. I'm 22 minutes in. I don't want to restart this. My bad. The Borland Backhanders taking on the old roommate, the Breakfast Club. Take down the top dog. I'm calling you out right now. Haven't had a commish call out in a while, but your team's struggling. You need it in a big spot against the biggest opponent. Do your thing. Take them down. Don't go in the basement, because we got a big basement matchup. Last time these two teams met, I'm talking about the Rubber Puckies and the Comeback Kid. Last time they met, Bootsy had the better of Kenny and said, you take the fucking keys to the shitty condo with the rats and the meth and the rusty stools. Ken Dog on a little bit of a heater. Kristoff coming off a big win. Something's got to give. Every game means oh so much. I'll see you guys next week. Whew.